Hey folks, sorry again I could not be here today to walk you through the bus lab, aka the tumble buggy lab. At this point, you should have a paper copy of the lab in front of you, and you are now watching this video aiding you in doing your pre-lab with your lab team. So with your lab team, go ahead and take a look at the first set of questions on your lab. You want to make sure that you answer all of these questions here. So when you are given the speed of a car, think of your car that you drive in, or a posted speed limit around town. What units do we usually use? Everywhere else, what units do they use? So in other words, go up to Canada or down to Mexico or anywhere else in the world, what units do they use for speed? If you're not sure, ask around or use a search engine to figure that out. In both of those cases, so what we use here in the United States for speed and what is used elsewhere, the first word in both of those is a measure of something. What is that a measure of in general? What does that measure? Okay, the last word for both of these units of speed is a measure of something else. What would that be? Okay, and in both of these, you have blank per blank. What we want to know is, what does the word per refer to there? And more specifically, it refers to a mathematical operation. What mathematical operation does per refer to? So go ahead, make sure you have all of those filled in. Once you do, you're going to need to collect some pieces of equipment to take with you outside in the hallways to go ahead and complete your measurements. The first thing you're going to need is a tumble buggy, pardon me. This is just a little cart that when you flip the switch, the wheel starts spinning and it begins to move. You're going to need 1 meter stick, and you're going to need a piece of tape to mark your start and finish lines in the hallway. Once you have all of those items, you're pretty much ready to go. One last thing you might need is a timer of some sort, whether that is your iPad, or if somebody needs to pull their phone off the wall, they can do that as well. But we do need to make sure we're taking a time. So you're going to get out in the hallway. You're going to pick a nice clear area where you can measure out 4 meters with your meter stick. So you're going to line your meter stick up, measure out 1, 2, 3, 4 meters. You're going to mark the start line and you're going to mark the finish line for your car so that it can travel a 4 meter distance. And then once you're out there, you're going to take your car, you're going to turn it on. Okay, so once you have your car on, you're going to turn your car on somewhere back here, put it on the ground, and that car is going to start to roll forward. Once that car begins to roll forward, once that car crosses the start line, you're going to go ahead and hit start on your timer, and the car is going to continue to roll until it gets to a finish line somewhere over here. When it crosses the finish line, you're going to hit stop on your timer. So you'll be collecting the distance that the car travels and the time that the car travels as well. Okay, on your lab, you're going to put those into a data table on your lab. Okay, you're going to create a data table by hand. You're going to need to make sure that you use a ruler to do that so it has nice straight lines for your data table. Okay. Later on in your lab, it's going to ask you to perform some conversions. Okay, so you're going to be required to convert your speeds from meters per second to kilometers per hour. This might help you. Okay, there are 3,600 seconds in 1 hour, and there are 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer. Again, make sure you have everything you need outside your lab, something to measure with. You might need a calculator if you're going to be performing your calculations out there, but probably not. Make sure you've got your timer. All of those items are with you. Okay, so your data is all going to go, as I mentioned before, in a data table. So your data table should have the variables across the top. So what are you measuring across the top? And then the trials up and down. So double check how many trials you need. If you're not sure, just make sure you read the lab carefully. It will tell you how many trials you need. Once you have your data table constructed, your pre-lab questions done, you're going to take everything outside, collect your data, and then get back in the classroom, There is a video posted in this very same folder that will walk you through how to complete the lab as well. That should hopefully answer any questions that you have. Your bus lab should, in theory, be done by the end of the hour, but if not, it should be due tomorrow. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you Friday. Have a good one.